Namaste and good morning, warm welcome. First of all, thank you ESOS Nepal for giving me the opportunity to talk. I will share a few things, hope it will be inspiring or not inspiring, I don't know. I'm Sandipa. I am an entrepreneur. By profession, I will go through how I became an entrepreneur. But before that, I think everybody sitting here is an entrepreneur. Not only in this hall, I think we are born as an entrepreneur. Because entrepreneur, if you see the meaning, is doing things on your own in a business manner, and that we have learned from the day we are born. So as everybody else in our part of the world, in 20 years back, when I finished my college 10+2, I had just two options. Either to be a doctor or to be an engineer. That is how we were brought up, and the society was cooked up in that manner, and we had a lot of pressure. I think many of us from our generation could feel that. So I come from a family of many engineers and doctors. So those were the two jobs that were given on the plate for me, and I could not think about any other things. So doctor I gave up because once I fell down and I had a big cut on my head and it has to be stitched. So seeing the blood and people panicking around me, I decided I cannot do that. So the only one option left was to be an engineer. But I dreaded maths. But to be a good girl, and I was a good student, so I said, okay, let me try engineering. But my heart did not say that. My heart wanted me to travel, to see the world, to do things, to work with people. That was my strong point. So with hearing everybody's, I told my parents that I think I'm interested in hospitality management. That was a very new thing during the time, and especially for girls. It was not so well taken because it was a bad industry. So I told my parents, and they said, okay, we were going to India to study engineering. So they said, why don't you see a college there? So I went to see a hotel management college with a small cutout that came in a paper, and that turned out to be a one-room institute. So one-room institute you should not study because people do not like entrepreneurship and things grow from one room. So I decided to do engineering. So I did engineering for a year and a half. I was not following a heart, but I was following people's dream. It was not my dream. Then after 1.5 years, as people have thought about it, I did not like it. And I started falling sick a lot of time because I think it was a lot of stress. Because it was not what I wanted to be. So after 1.5 years of engineering, I dropped engineering. And I came back and I thought I would do hospitality management. But I still had that guilt factor that I could not do engineering. Then I did my hotel management. It was a long journey from being an engineer to studying in India. I went to Switzerland to study hotel management. So that was different setting. I studied in a convent throughout my life where the boys I could see were only dudwala and the gardeners, and we could only go once a month outside. Then I was transferred to a situation in Switzerland where first question they asked me is, do you want a girl or a boy as a roommate? So life is all about embracing and evolving. So how do you take the change? So all of you sitting here, I think you are in a generation where somebody says, okay, I want to be an entrepreneur, is taken very well. It was not the case for many of us many years back. So I did my hospitality management, came back thinking I did hotel management from Switzerland and I'll get a best job in Nepal, where I always wanted to be rooted back to my country. So I came back and then I realized it was not the case, okay? Because I was only studying because I did not figure out what was my strength, what were my weaknesses. I only thought, okay, I'll do this, I'll get a job, I'll be happy with the salary I get. And that is the biggest mistake I think most of us do. So I think, the first thing, I think all of us should be self-aware of what we are as a human being. There are many options in life, right? There are many careers in life which we want to do, but we cannot. I wish I could have been model, but my height, face and body did not allow, right? So I had to choose the industry that I fit in, that I love and then passionate about. And the hospitality management was something I could fit in. So when I came back, I started working. After a lot of interviews and written exams and everything, I landed up working at Solti Crown Plaza in sales and marketing. And I was very happy. But there is no shortcut to a dream, right? So you have to work hard. So we were in an industry where for the first 4 months I didn't have a holiday for a day. There were labor laws all over written, but it is not in the hospitality industry. Okay? So 4 months without a leave I worked, but I enjoyed. And then I realized that where my passion lies. So I was working and being happy and all. And then life turned into a different mode that I got married and I was about to have a child. So everybody said, with a child, you cannot work 8 to 10 in the evening. And that was realistic. So again, I had to prioritize. Whether it is I decided to bring a child to earth, it is my duty to raise a child, or else should I continue with my career? So I decided to raise a child and I took a maternity leave. And during that paternity leave, my brother, who is an entrepreneur by nature, he came and told me, let's do something in the hospitality industry. Till 4 years back, we had to look for general managers for every 5-star hotel in Nepal. Now it is not the case. There is only 1 or 2 hotels which has foreign general managers, rest are run by Nepalese general managers. But the idea of entrepreneurship, because I was not born an entrepreneur, we all think I'm not an entrepreneur, I want a job which has a security, which has a salary and all. So there was a long debate and discussion, and then I had to take care of my child. I was brought up in a situation where I never asked money from anybody. I earned from after I graduated, so it was a very difficult moment. So I decided, with a doubt, that I will be an entrepreneur. So we opened the hotel management school 16 years back in Nepal. It was the first private hotel management college named Silver Mountain. So when we started, we all were very young, with little experience, with little money, and a job, lot of hard work to do. So we started with 8 students. We worked from a chairman to a doorman. But we were happy working because it was our passion. And we were aware what we were doing. We knew what were our strengths, what are our weaknesses, and we worked on it. So never feel shy that you don't know work. Jump into it and you will learn how to swim. Saying that, I think you have to keep learning. Like Steve Jobs said, be hungry. Not for food, not for anything, but for knowledge. So I think you have to come into a time in life where you have to do. So I finished my bachelor, I had my own business during that time. It was running from 8 students, we are growing exponentially. But then I thought, when running a business, we lacked certain things, right? So maths, I always fared, other business knowledge, we always fared, though I had 3-4 years of experience already, that was not enough. So with a child of 1.5-year-old, and being a daughter-in-law of the house, and starting a business, I decided to do my MBA as a part-time. And it was not an easy task because I had to learn, relearn and learn, going to a class, sit, study, do homework, next day be at work and with a small child. But you have to continue learning in life. If you stop, you are stagnant and you die. So that was the first entrepreneurship which was happening. Then I thought, okay, we have an entrepreneurship inside me, so I can do another thing. So we opened a restaurant. Everybody opens a restaurant, and for hoteliers it's very easy. We thought we'll open a restaurant and it will run and it will work. So we opened a Mediterranean style of restaurant for the first time in Nepal. But we were so busy doing so many things and not able to give time that after 2 years, our manager bought the whole restaurant. So that is how bad we were in managing and keeping records and tracking things and not giving time. So when you're an entrepreneur, I think you have to give 100%. For all of you sitting here, we all come with a vision that I asked many youngsters, because I do coaching as well, and I asked many youngsters, why do you want to be an entrepreneur? The first answer they tell me is, I'll be my own boss. And second thing is this, that I can't work in a timeline, so I can work as and when it's needed. No. Both are wrong concept. You are never your own boss. Even you run a company, you are reporting to somebody, at least to your customers, to your clients and all. So are you ready for it? And don't come with an idea that I'll be a boss. If you think and come with an idea saying I'll be a boss, then your business is doomed. You are not the boss. Your customers, your employers are your boss. And take that seriously. That is what I've learned in my life. And that makes you work harder. And entrepreneur is another very responsible job, because you are responsible for so many people and so many lives who will be working with you. So are you ready to bring food on their plates on a daily basis? You have to work harder for them so that they run their family, they run their dreams. So entrepreneurship, it took a long time. It was not say it was easy. From 8 students, now we have more than 700 students today in Hotel Management College, right? We are working like we worked in day one. We work from morning till night. Even now, with all the gadgets now, life has become more terrible. We receive message at 11 o'clock and we're sitting and replying. There's no Saturdays, Sundays and all. So that is how you have to go. And in life, you should always have plan A, plan B, and plan C. It does not work. So my life was going on a smooth curve, heading a school, running business, and though the restaurant didn't work, but we were concentrating with a lot of passion in one business. Then suddenly, one day came, my husband decided to move abroad because he was offered a very good job. So I had again I came to a threshold in life where I had to make a choice, let's say, between my career and my life. My son, my husband was my life and still is. And my career was also my life because I invested so much. Once you go to US, because those times there were a lot of interviews that were coming on TV. I was in Women Entrepreneurs Club. I was heading this A1 and all those things. So people gave me that moral boost and I thought, okay, let's give it a try, and I went. But life was not easy. It was a different turn. I was in a part of the world where everything was new. So you have to prepare, because the plan A of what everybody told that you will get a job did not work. Because though I had MBA degree, I had years of experience, I had everything, international degree, all the experience, still it did not work. So I had to reinvent myself, right? So I thought, what to do? I have to learn something new. I always make sure that I learn something new. So I thought, because my life is through transition in different phases, I have to do something new. So I decided, okay, I will learn something new. So I decided to do career and leadership coaching. I took on the subject, I started studying, I did my certification, I studied again and came with a certification. And that paid well, because with that, I started working. So don't take any job as a low or a menial job. Even if you run a company, we always say we are from a chairman to a doorman to a chairman, right? So that was difficult, and the first job that came to me was to coach people in a prison. In US, in prison, when there are people who are coming out, from their parole, like for 25 years or 30 years, when they are coming out, the government helps them to find job, so they don't go back to their lives. So I was asked to volunteer, not also work, but to volunteer in the prison. The first, it sounded very frightening, right? To go to a prison, go inside and work with people who have been behind bars for a long time. But I had to make a decision whether I move forward and stay being a housewife and be happy or do something. And then I said, okay, I'll take the job. It was not easy meeting people who were there on a sentence for 25 years, 30 years and doing coaching for them. Okay? So I did a lot of coaching, leadership, career coaching for a lot of inmates who were there. I worked almost 6 months within the prison. Not easy, because some of them used to say, like, I'm going back after 25 years because I murdered somebody. So sitting in a room with a murderer and doing career coaching was not easy. But you have to take life as it comes and evolve and embrace it. And with that came a break. Then I was offered a job as a career and leadership coach at George Washington University for MBA students. And then I started my career as a career and leadership coach, also teaching entrepreneurship and all in a university for years. So life was going smooth and everything was fine, and suddenly one day we decided to move back because our son was becoming more American than Nepali. So we thought this was the right time to bring him back, so we have to come back. So when coming back, it was not easy as I thought it would be, because the scenario has changed. I worked in sales and marketing. People I knew and I worked have moved after coming 8 years. So even the way of working and the system of working has changed. So again, I had to be an entrepreneur. So always think life is an entrepreneurship. You have to have that plan to make your life's business successful. So again, I came back, joined Silver Mountain, and I'm working. But you have to evolve, you have to learn. Keep learning. That is there. And always have plan A, plan B, and plan C. Don't think like I'm taking entrepreneurship because I want to be my own boss, or I have a lot of skills. There is a saying that there is no easy way to be a minute manager. We all of us can't be. And we are from hospitality industry, and they said whether we love it or leave it. I have my colleague here, Mr. Sandipa Thapa, who did the same thing. And he is also he's a veteran hospitality educator. And I think all of us have been working constantly even to this day. Okay? So make sure that you follow your heart, know your strengths and weaknesses, be aware of what you can do and what you cannot do. Hone your skills. Don't think that I become a CEO that I'm good. No, take some skills you can take, because you have to have that creative juice flowing. If you see, like there was yesterday there was an article, people were talking about growth, innovation of the startup CEOs, and then they said that most of them, they read at least 60 books per year, and which increases your horizon. So at least you can take courses, every 3 years you have to reinvent your life, because as Colin Powell said, success is not a miracle. It is a lot of hard work, sweat and determination. And I think all of you, wish you all the luck, and thank you.